In dark and gloomy Gotham City, we are coming to you live from Arkham Asylum for the Supersons Crisis on Infinite Earths Extravaganza!
We're all locked in here together, why don't we just get along? I know something that binds us, we won't be fighting for long. All we're trying to do is get a piece of that big pie. We ain't got no superpowers, we ain't Superman in the sky. Haven't you heard the news? We all got a case of them Batman blues. The Dark Knight's got the best of us in a familiar tizzy. From that big guy Bane to Dr. Crane, the Batman's been quite busy. Harley Quinn's been caught on Poison Ivy's tangled vine. We all want to crack at that black bat, but we'll have to get in line. Haven't you read the news? Ain't no cure for these Batman blues. You see it on the evening news that we need a cure for these Batman blues. Good evening, Arkham Asylum. Thanks for coming out tonight.
It was mandatory. The guards made everyone come.
Still glad you made it. Let's give it up for Mr. Freeze, who's been tickling those keys with the house band, the Icicles.
Did you really get sent to solitary confinement to work on that song? You're adjusting alarmingly well here.
Anyway, tonight's show is about the multiverse. The Crisis on Infinite Earths, to be more specific.
It sure is, Dan.
Jake, you mentioned smuggling something into Arkham with you. Let's show the audience.
It's a map of the multiverse that I got from Grant Morrison at New York Comic Con. So, this map lays out all the different universes in the multiverse.
What's on the other side?
The gritty, edgy, dark 90s version of comics still exists here.
Don't ever do that again. If you release that dark multiverse, we will never get it closed.
So, Jake, can you explain to the audience a little bit more about the multiverse?
There are multiple universes that are similar, but a little different to vastly different than our own.
So, like how our Earth is Prime Earth and something like Earth 3 is similar, but with the Justice League being evil?
Correct. Another example is Earth 616, where we run a Marvel podcast. Except in that world, we're lizards.
That sounds horrifying, and how do you know that?
Don't ask.
Right. So, tonight we're going to be talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths, the event comic that changed all event comics.
Event comics are things that shake up the whole comic universe. People die, big things happen. The world is never the same until the next reboot.
So, let's talk about this book.
In the immortal words of Captain Carrot, it's a crisis.
As we said many times, we are covering Crisis on Infinite Earths. The creative team on this, it's the same writer and editor because fuck it, no one can rein in the Wolfman, is Marv Wolfman. Penciler is George Perez. Inker is Dick Giordano, Jerry Ordway, and Mike DiCarlo. Colorist is Anthony Tolan, Tom Zuku, and Carl Gafford. Letterer, John Costanza. As usual, if there's anything that we left out, dear listeners, it can be filled in with a big hero team fight or something else. We're reading this off of scrap papers that we've passed back and forth from ourselves to try to get this summary together. So bear with us.
Well, you have it on scrap paper. I tattooed it on a man.
Yeah, it was horrifying. He screamed the entire time.
He asked me to give him a tattoo. He didn't specify.
Yeah, it was 5 pages long. You had to use his whole body. So, something about the story, a lot of the characters are introduced just to be built up for a scene, and then they don't really come back for anything meaningful, which is sad. This is this is the second big event comic of like ever. The first was Secret Wars from that other company. This one's not a toy ad though, like that was to sell things to little kids. This one was to, restart the universe. And so since then, events have just been an exercise. Yeah, they've just been an excess of. They've been an exercise in excess. It's just too much stuff, too many tie-ins, and in this modern day, we have too many of them. But this is the big one that started the summer blockbuster type events that you know and may love. So let's get started. Issue 1, The Summoning. We're introduced to 3 multiversal beings. We meet Pariah, a lilac-haired man who is cursed to watch universes and countless people die as waves of antimatter sweep across different multiverses to erase them entirely. Harbinger, who is tasked to bring some of the multiverse's mightiest heroes together to stop the oncoming threat. And the Monitor, who has been seen leading up to this tragedy as he crafts a master plan to stop it, to stop the oncoming destruction, using the 2 other beings to complete his mission. Harbinger goes around gathering the champions that the Monitor has chosen to save everything, namely King Solivar, Firebrand, Dawnstar, Psycho Pirate, Firestorm, Killer Frost, Blue Beetle, Orion, A-R-I-O-N, Green Lantern, John Stewart, Obsidian, Geoforce, Cyborg, Simon, Earth 2 Superman with the Grey Temples, and Dr. Polaris. That is a lot of heroes who are pretty much, they're really big in this issue, and then as the issues go on, you get introduced to like regular Batman, Superman, and there's just so many characters in this thing that it's kind of hard to follow.
A lot of
any
people
of them
just pop in and out.
Yeah, so we'll mostly be following those 3 beings and a 4th one that we'll be introduced to later. The heroes gather together at the Monitor's interdimensional space station, which looks like Cybertron or some Transformers-looking shit, kind of like the Death Star and Unicron banged and had a kid. Once our heroes and a few villains are banded together, they are somehow attacked by a bunch of shadow creatures.
Hold on. The Death Star and Unicron banged.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a Death Star Unicron toy out there somewhere.
No, I know, but like, oof.
It exists.
Yeah, it turns into Darth Vader. God, just you put that image in my brain.
You're welcome.
That exhaust port.
Now you have something to think about in yourself. So all these heroes are fighting on this, monstrosity against these shadow creatures that no one can really hit.
Well, they're fighting on like Earth, aren't they?
No, in the beginning they fight in the Monitor's satellite. So they're fighting these different shadows, which they can't really do anything against other than Obsidian, who is basically the Master of Shadows and is a shadow, but these things aren't like him, which kind of sets off an alarm. Then a bright light flashes, and they're pretty much they just vanish. And we see the man who has been narrating the scene the entire time, the Monitor.
The Monitor. Issue 2. Time and time again. Time is collapsing in on itself, and to narrate that, to show that, we see the Legion of Superheroes fighting some mammoths that are being chased by cavemen.
Are in the future.
They're not in the future. It's time's collapsing on itself. There's
but that's why. That's why it's
remember
weird.
Those trees got pulled in. Like, it's a lot going on. It's just so much going on. How did we even smuggle this book in?
It's hefty. I had to do some. All right. Yeah. Keep going.
We see a modern 80s Batman taking down the Joker.
Oh, the Joker. I met him actually.
Go on.
So you know that game people play when they see a Volkswagen Bug and you punch one another? It was sort of like that, except I didn't see a beetle, and I actually just kneed him in the crotch before slamming his head into a table. He didn't really get the joke.
This place has changed you, dude. Is that why you were in solitary?
Yeah, had to prove myself as the big dog in the yard.
But back to the summary. Only to be confronted by the Flash, aging into oblivion, saying some ominous things. Batman alerts Superman to this so they can figure it out. The Flash, Barry Allen, has been missing since his trial for killing Professor Zoom. And Pariah pops in on Bats and Soups and then pops out saying his usual scary apocalyptic things.
Yeah, so the Flash kind of just pops in throughout the story and we have no idea why, but his face is like turning into a skeleton.
I want you all to know that this man got additional tattoos because Dan decided to cross out some stuff.
Yeah, it was a bunch of irrelevant stuff that we didn't need in the story.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot in that. A lot of that.
Yeah, it's a behemoth.
Yeah. We love Marv, but this is not him at his best.
It's because there's no editor. There's no one reining things in or being like, oh, we don't really need that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, go nuts. That's what he did. But then again, you can make, there's an argument to be made where this whole thing is supposed to be chaotic. Like,
yeah, and it's kind of like
the reality is shifting.
Yeah.
So I don't know what was going on.
And then it gets reset and everything's better forever and none of this stuff ever happened again. And nothing's ever confusing and DC has perfect continuity. Continue with the summary.
I mean, it's got better continuity than most. But anyway, where was I? The Monitor's initial force go to Atlantis, which is clashing with some commandy stuff. A planet of dickhead animals that just hunt humans.
Yeah. It's kind of like Planet of the Apes, but there's other animals.
Yeah. There's a lot of tigers. I don't know. I haven't read a lot of commandy stuff.
Yeah, I feel like that's something we should cover because commandy is not something I'm familiar with at all.
Like, I know him. I understand his world, but I don't know his stories.
Yeah.
In the center of the city, which is a large future techie structure that looks like a beacon, big tower. And their mission is to defend this tower, and others like it throughout time against the shadow creatures. Sorry, I was drinking some prison wine.
Make it in the toilet.
Yeah. All right. Pariah and Harbinger get baby Alexander Luthor from Earth 3, who kind of just got, Kal-El'd.
It's a verb.
He got Kal-El'd. He did.
He did. His parents on Earth 3 were good guys. The Earth 3 Justice League are bad guys. So Alexander Luthor, is it Alexander Graham Luthor?
I don't know.
His father was a good guy.
All I know is he got that big red beard and he looks really Kirby-esque.
Yeah.
And then then the New 52 made him evil.
He was evil before the New 52.
No.
Alexander Luthor was.
No. I'm talking about his dad.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Where the hell was I? Yeah. So this baby is the key to saving everything. And then Psycho Pirate uses his Psycho Pirate powers of controlling emotion, which pisses off Arion?
Arion? I think maybe it's Arion. He was like a big character for a while too.
Yeah. I mean, he's your wheelhouse though.
I know, he's Lord of Atlantis, but I've never actually read his stories.
Yeah, he's got like 2 ongoings. But Arion, Lord of Atlantis. All right. Arion and Pirate fight until Obsidian saves Arion before Pirate is snatched up by a different darkness. When the heroes learn that the Earths are going to go bye-bye at the hands of the Anti-Monitor, but they don't really call it, they call him I should just refer to him as the big bad because he doesn't get called that yet.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get called that until kind of well after he's introduced. But, yeah. So, we also learned that Harbinger has to betray the Monitor as she's under the influence of the big bad.
Issue 3, Oblivion Upon Us. Alexander Luthor is aging rapidly as he's being monitored by the Monitor. The reason for that is because the Monitor realizes that he has both matter and antimatter powers in him because his parents yeeted him through dimensions. So his little journey between the different multiverses has given him abilities. Harbinger suspects that Monitor knows of her treachery. The heroes try to fight the erasure of their world with no effect because their powers, because they use their powers against this antimatter. They're trying to shoot beams at it, punch it. Good going superheroes. That's not how antimatter works. Honestly,
but a Shadow Man can both can punch it and not be punched by it.
Yeah,
yeah. Obsidian was built up a little much and didn't get to use his, do anything.
Yeah, he's only like the three first issues. That's it.
Obsidian's dope looking.
Yeah, he's a cool looking character, but he's like not really ever utilized too much.
Yeah. Except in just JSA stuff, much later. Harbinger
learns that she has to kill the Monitor by the orders of the Anti-Monitor. Harbinger has been raised by the Monitor since her family died in a shipwreck and she was lost at sea. While he was scouring the galaxy trying to watch everything and make sure things weren't going bad, he took the time to save her and raise her because he's not a bad person.
All right. Issue 4. And thus shall the world die. Whew, this is a big one. Monitor engineers the tragedy that turns Kimio Hoshi into the new Dr. Light, who can actually use her powers against antimatter. Suck it, Superman. As Dan, you don't even use a needle to do this. You used a knife.
Yeah, I had to make do.
Oh, God. This is not how you do stick and poke tattoos.
Oh, well, I used a knife and I wrote.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Okay. Alexander Luthor reveals that the Monitor knew that he was going to be betrayed and that it must happen for his plan to succeed, much to the sadness of Harbinger and Alex. Pirate is now under the employ of the Anti-Monitor, not known as the Anti-Monitor yet.
You could just call him Shadow Figure, but it's just easier to say Anti-Monitor.
Yeah,
which is, a brilliant naming convention.
Yeah, I kind of just want to call him Big Bad, so that's what he is. But, yeah. So any Monitor who promises him his own planet and takes Red Tornado, who will create a their new universe.
Which kind of just gets dropped, too.
Yeah. There's a lot of juggling here. The shadows keep spilling out of the Golden Towers as they are protecting in the middle of everything until a giant begins to form. As we learn, these are not shadows; they're antimatter.
The shadows start clumping up into a big old shadow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. In comes the new Dr. Light, who's like screaming in Japanese that the heroes have to stop. And stop destroying the tower spire shadow generator because it's a vibrational fork and that's the key to saving everything. And only Katana's like, guys, I speak Japanese.
So does Superman.
She's not. Yeah. Superman just knows Japanese,
which is cool.
Yeah, I mean he's probably heard it enough times to learn every language.
Yeah,
I mean he hears everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably been learning forever. Pariah finally meets the Monitor in the flesh and learns that the Monitor is the reason he isn't dead yet. because he keeps pulling him out of all the times that the worlds get destroyed. But I'm a little upset. You know why. It is real that these big old vibrational forks on Earth 1 and 2 are gonna bring these bad boys together, as they will channel the Monitor's power after his death. Don't you like when two good things come together? Like spaghetti and meatballs, Dan.
Continue.
Yeah, that wasn't funny.
I know. That's why I cut it off the man's skin.
Yeah. Harbinger kills Monitor as Earth 1 and 2 are ripped apart, and the comic's last panel is black. Oh, and Brainiac was doing a bunch of stuff. He was kind of just floating in space with this big old spaceship that's the shape of his robot body's head.
Yeah. Brainiac is just in one page, and it's like, oh, I'm going to do some stuff. And then eventually he does do some stuff, and it doesn't fucking matter. Issue 5, Worlds in Limbo. The Anti-Monitor's plan has seemingly failed, as the worlds have survived because of the Monitor's sacrifices. The Flash, who has been a thorn in his side as he has run through time, appears in his base. The Anti-Monitors thought he was going to get the Monitor's power because they're opposites of each other, but those forks were actually where the Monitor's power was siphoned into. Harbinger returns to her normal human form of Lila and is heartbroken until Monitor's last will and testament recording starts and tells her that it was needed to save the two worlds. He sent them into the Netherverse when all in time and space had become one. Alex comes out in a solid gold outfit and says, all right, I got my orders. Then he summons everybody from the Legion, Sergeant Rock, scuba divers. I'm pretty sure those are the Challengers of the Unknown or the Sea Devils.
I think they're the Sea Devils.
Yeah, it's the Sea Devils. I think the Challengers and the Unknown are in this too.
They are,
but they're actually a part later.
Yeah. They're not just like shown and like not used at all.
They have a bit.
You know, they are.
And all the heroes come into a room on Monitor's Death Star squared,
as Ralph calls it.
The Flash fights against the fear instilled in him by the Psychopirate, and Red Tornado, who has been out of commission, fights back and sends a tornado out of the antimatter, and the heroes, not knowing, try to fight the tornado that's coming through. The heroes stop it and save old Red Tomato. God damn it, I thought I got it all out.
I cut a little bit and then I left the tomato. See, that's funny.
Psychopirate is a really cool looking character. He's got like a really sleek design, and I love his powers because he takes his mask off and he's like, oh, you're going to feel happiness. And you do, and then you fucking feel it so much.
There's a lot of cool looking characters.
Yeah, Psychopirate is like the coolest part of the story for me. I always loved that character from this. I love this story. It's just a lot. Like, I still think it's so cool. Like, all this stuff is happening. And clearly we're doing this because the CW's doing all those episodes, which the guards are actually nice enough to let us watch.
Well, no, they're not nice enough. You shivved
it's hero
one
propaganda.
Of them. You shivved one of them.
Things got to get done. So the Flash and Pirate watch the heroes struggle from the darkness, and the big bad destroys the Monitor satellite, then shows himself and says he is the Monitor and looks real creepalicious. He says he's the Anti-Monitor.
No, he doesn't. He says he's the Monitor.
Oh yeah, but he has.
I'm looking at the page right now.
I cannot wrap my head around what his like look would be in real life. Like the show has one, but like
it's Darth Vader mixed with Bobo.
Right, but no, like
he's
under
got
that
the nose
helmet
hairs.
is like a skeleton. I don't get it. It's just it's like someone took a old corpse and shoved it into like a robot suit.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. He's literally just the Anti-Monitor. There's Monitor and he's the Anti-Monitor, the yin and the yang. It's yeah, go to the next issue.
Issue 6. 3 Earths, 3 Deaths. So the guy claiming the monitor to be the monitor claims that the monitor is dead, and so should all the heroes. And then he sends is a bad way to say this, but he kind of shoots a beam into Psycho Pirate, and then
Send it.
Yeah, he kind of like sends it. Hit send.
Is that a hip thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Someone's dissing your flag girl. You got to hit him with one of these.
yeah. It doesn't get mentioned until later in the issue that he's like beaming his like abilities out to 3 different Earths that he's just decided to terrorize.
NBD.
Yeah, he's causing the Psycho Pirate pain, and
Yeah, he's pretty much using him as a conduit to just make
cause pain.
different Earths go wild.
Yeah, and then he decides to. Then all the heroes get attacked and the Death Star squared, and they all try to fight to save the satellite, but it fails and blows up. Then normal Lex Luthor gets launched into the Brainiac's head ship. Head.
Brainiac's big head.
Yeah, Lex Luthor got some head. Boom, all that metal.
That was bad.
What was bad? The joke?
Yeah.
So was that scene.
All right, continue.
Yeah. That was so dumb. All right, back to our, then we find out about the what he did to Pirate, and then it kind of goes back to our Universal Trio as we find out that Lila has lost her Harbinger powers again, but this time it's for good. Like, before she was just floating around in her suit, but this time she just doesn't have it.
Issue 7, Beyond the Silent Night. Pariah, Lila, and Alex assemble a group of representatives from the remaining Earths. Superman, Old Superman, Lady Quirk, Blue Beetle, Captain Marvel, Shazam, and Dan's favorite Nazi fighting icon, Uncle Sam. I lied. Psycho Pirate is not my favorite part of the story. This is where I first encountered Uncle Sam, who is actually one of my favorite DC characters in general. I love him so much.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
It's not even because he's like a patriotic symbol or anything like that. It's because like he stands for the ideals of what America should be, and he is powered by the belief.
I like how
in that.
he attacks Captain Steel. He punches him. He's like, you desecrate the flag. They're both.
Well, he's under the influence of Psycho Pirate.
Yeah, but it's funny because he's saying he's desecrating the flag because he's wearing the suit and he's fighting.
Yeah, but he's literally wearing a suit made of the American flag.
Which, fun fact, everyone, according to flag code, that's not what you're supposed to do.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of rules in flag code.
Jake, why the fuck do you know flag code?
Don't worry about it. It helps in arguments.
The team gets a history lesson about this Earth. We get to see the Guardians before they become we get to see the Guardians before they become little vague, shady blue people. What do we call them? Vague expositional blueberries?
Yeah, that's my favorite thing I've come up with in my life. I've had a sad life, everyone.
And Krona, the one that accidentally fucked up. He made the antimatter universe. The creation of Cord is also addressed, but never explains the fashion sense of winged helmets. The antimatter was created by the newfound antimatter. From this, and in retaliation, the Monitor was made by the universe. The two faced each other, and somewhere down the line, the anti-monitor was sealed away like most cosmic evil beings. So let's explain this a little bit because this is sort of confusing. Cord is the antithesis to Oa, correct?
Yes, and they made the Sinestro all the yellow rings.
Mm-hmm. So Cord is evil Oa. Oa is where the big expositional blueberries
live. Instead of being
live.
little blue guys, they're tall red-skinned people. Like, not even like red, it's like a pink.
They have like a bird aesthetic going to them, and they throw like these lightning bolts. They throw actual like lightning bolt things,
and they all wear the same outfit.
Yeah,
like it's not even like a nice outfit. It's like it's
it's goofy.
Yeah, and they all wear shields and throw lightning bolts, and they have goggles on.
Yeah, they're dumb. So then the antimatter universe was created, which if there's an antimatter universe, there's a regular universe. You got the antimatter, you got the regular monitor. They basically shot a beam at each other until they were both knocked out. And then Pariah is actually the one who let him out of his cage. Holy shit. I gotta hold on. Make this guy hold his arm up. I want to read this note. We learned that Pariah let the anti-monitor out of his cage and he was doing just fine. But he just had to be down because he wanted it all. Fuck.
You didn't see that one, did you?
It was only a crisis. How did it end up like this? This triggered the end of the multiverse. Basically, this dude was sleeping. Pariah woke him up.
He was like, "Hey, buddy, got a smoke? Got a smoke?"
And then Monitor, the Monitor, basically forced him to watch all the deaths of these universes, and that's why he's a pariah, because he's just seeing the end and not being able to do anything, and then he vanishes.
This is one of his 3 sins.
His 3 sins were waking up the anti-monitor. I forgot the other thing. We probably should have written that down. It's kind of important to his character, but yeah, I wasn't going to carve into the guy's foot. So they all go to the anti-monitor. Is this where they go to the anti-monitor's rock bachelor pad?
Yes.
He just lives in a big rock bachelor pad in the middle of space. And they all start fighting. These big rock creatures are fighting back, and it hits Superman, and he bleeds, and he's like, oh shit. Wait, I can get hurt? Uh-oh.
And it's Old Man Superman, too.
Yeah, it's Old Man Superman. So everybody's kung fu fighting, and they find out there's this sun generator in the middle of it, which is powering everything, and Supergirl flies in to save her cousin, and she's the fucking hero of the day. She beats the shit out of the Anti-Monitor, destroys his hard chocolatey outer shell, and releases the Nucleity Center, which he runs away. But he kills her before he goes, and she dies as a hero in Superman's arms. That's like the most iconic image from this, where he's holding Kara in his arms after she's been killed, as all the heroes watch on Anti-Monitor's stone bachelor pad.
Yeah. All right. Issue 8. A Flash of the Lightning. Of the Lightning?
Yeah.
All right. So, this issue opens with the Flash being like glued to this like energy wall.
It's like a fly trap.
Yeah, it is a fly trap, and he calls it Jello.
Yeah, it's a real weird image.
Yeah, it is. But and the Anti-Monitor gets a makeover into the scariest nutcracker ever. And he's building a lot, like this big old antimatter cannon. Are either of them really explained?
Yeah, that casing's really just to keep him in. He's mostly just antimatter energy.
Antimatter.
You gotta shove him into like a sock or something.
Antimatter.
He doesn't.
Keep going. So stupid. All right. The Flash breaks out of the Anti-Monitor's flytrap prison, and he faces the villains. He kind of manages to distract them by getting I was going to say Psycho Pirate.
Nope.
That is not right. Turns out this man is just a giant ficus.
Oh no, he's just 3 ficuses in a man suit.
Yeah. Psycho Pirate to use his powers to instill hate in all the Cordians, causing them to attack the Anti-Monitor.
Wait, let's talk about that a little more, because the Flash grabs Psycho Pirate and uses him as a weapon. He's zipping around this new base where they're building this giant cannon and forcing Psycho Pirate to use his powers on these Cordians. It's such a cool thing because he's got him like a human shield and is using him to fuck shit up.
And then, but also between these like 2 sections, there's just pages of the Green Lanterns and Owens, the Guardians, and Darkseid. And Darkseid just looks lumpy.
Yeah, Darkseid like helps them stop him at the end. Basically, Darkseid's like, yeah, I'm not going to step in until I need to. I'm going to wait till he's weak.
Yeah. Lots of stuff happens. Lots of stuff, guys. It's a lot of heroes just running around. And, okay, so back to after they attack the Anti-Monitor. He goes after the core of the cannon, and he decides to, because it's going in one single direction, so he decides to run the opposite way. As you know,
Flash
stuff. You know, it's like a tornado. And he begins to rapidly age, then he gets thrown, his image is thrown out throughout time, and he's just projecting himself out, and that's what we've seen so far of him throughout the whole story. And we'll see it even after this. And he dies. He just rapidly ages into oblivion.
While running through time.
Yeah. The issue ends with the entry of the super mystic powerhouse, the Spectre.
The Spirit of Vengeance. Is that what they call him?
Yep.
He's like this guy who just wears underwear and a cape.
And booties. And little gloves.
Yeah. It's such a wild costume. It's like...
You can tell when it was created.
Yeah, and it hasn't changed.
Yes,
it's still the same thing.
No, it's not.
Does he have clothes on?
Yeah.
When?
Hal Jordan's version of it had clothes. Then the one after him had pants. And then he had like the metal like girdle. And then into the metal underwear.
The one you like... Yeah, but he always has this pretty much this aesthetic.
Yeah. Green
All right.
and pale.
Issue 9,
He's
Warzone.
real pasty.
All the villains are in Brainiac's headship. Everything's pretty much gone to hell. The trio of Alex, Lila, and Pariah address the UN until Brainiac comes in with a hologram of his head. Basically, the villains on Earth were like, oh yeah, we should, strike. Like, oh no, the multiverse is ending and things like that. It's a real good time to hit the iron while the iron's hot. The villains and the hero fight because, it's an event. Wally West is brought out of retirement to work with Jay Garrick, the Flash of Earth 2, to use the cosmic treadmill. Brainiac pops, and Simon's like, time to die, Lexi, baby. Basically, Simon has been betraying all the villains.
Simon says, time to die.
Simon knows that Brainiac and Lex were actually going to betray everyone and take over the planets for themselves. So he was like, nah, fuck that, dude. It's my game.
Issue 10. Death of the Dawn of Time. Brainiac comes back in a new robot body because he's not the green one right now. He's just that big red old robot. And he kills Simon by blowing up his little jar brain and to save Lex. God. Just looking at Simon sometimes just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I really like that he shot him through his dome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I've always wanted to see that dome explode.
It's creepy because it's like glass in this, whereas in like Young Justice, it's like a membrane.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I don't like Simon. He makes me uncomfortable.
I mean, most evil mind controlling people should make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're bad.
Yeah. The Spectre stops the fighting between the heroes and villains to just adjust all of their hate towards the real enemy. So everyone goes and fights the Anti-Monitor, and the Spectre gets real big, resulting in a big boy, or in the Spectre's case, a big boo, because the Spectre's a ghost. You get it, Dan?
Why did you put 3 money symbols on this man?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He owes me.
So yeah, they kind of get into like a Megazord battle.
Yeah, they do. It's a big slugfest.
They're just 2 giant monsters fighting. No big deal.
Chrono's involved, but he's not a short blueberry. He's full sized. He doesn't look like the other Guardians at this point. And the Anti-Monitor goes into a rift.
They throw him away.
Into the
Issue
garbage.
11.
You go.
Where?
Up. I'm going to make a basket.
Issue 11, Aftershock. Everyone is now on one Earth in the modern day. Everything starts as it's just kind of normal, but all the Earth 2 versions of the characters are there. Most of them can't find records of themselves, with the exception of a few people such as Jay Garrick, who has been added to the world's history. Jay, Wally, and both Supermen go to the cosmic treadmill to go to the multiversal position of Earth 2. They find a vast blackness. There's nothing there.
Yeah, but let's address that for a minute, because Jay knows who Superman is. Earth 2 Superman is.
Yeah.
And but Joan doesn't. Joan's like, who are you?
Yeah, so Jay kept his memory, and everyone else just kind of forgot who they are.
Yeah, and
like they don't know who Superman and all that kind of stuff are.
Yeah, so that's a big thing throughout the rest of the story.
So now there's only one universe, New Earth, but it's still not complete. All the displaced heroes try to figure out everything that's going on with them. Earth 2 Superman looks for his Lois, who no longer exists. He is not very happy about that. And at the end of the issue, the Anti-Monitor appears, but now he's just this big neon head thing. He's in that, and the beginning of the next issue is just a weird neon outline.
So,
brought to you by Disney Magic.
Hi, I'm the Anti-Monitor, and you're watching Disney Channel. My favorite thing is when people trace those.
Yeah, but it's like the video without the actual tracing, so it's just super awkward.
All the takes they had to do. Oh, so there's a bunch of stuff, but there's a big swirl of antimatter surrounding Earth, and that means one thing: shit's back to hell. And also, this issue is called Final Crisis.
LOL.
Because
this is absolutely the last one that happens.
Yep. All right.
It's not a reoccurring theme or anything.
So, shit's happening. And then Wally, after seeing a projection of Barry's death, takes Psycho Pirate down. And then things just start happening. Just so much is happening. Okay, so Anti-Monitor is big, but not a big energy head anymore. And all the heroes begin to assault him. Earth 1 Supes is ready to sacrifice himself until he's stopped by Earth 2 Superman, and Earth 2 stays behind and fights. And Superboy Prime comes in with no real introduction to help. He doesn't even address who he is. It's just hey, it's Superboy.
I think this is Superboy Prime.
It is Superboy Prime.
Yeah, they say it on the page.
Or do they? I must have missed that. Might be. But, so, they end up winning. And Lois gets brought back to life because that's what Earth 2 Superman's been looking for. And our Superman character quartet just flies off into the great unknown, not to be seen until Infinite Crisis. And
they kind of just go into a pocket dimension.
Yeah, they're like a big crystal room outside of everything.
That's another day.
Another day, another dollar. And then after everything is done, most of the Earth 2 dupes are gone. Anyone left is ones who didn't have a 1-to-1 counterpart on Earth 1. And most importantly, Wally becomes the Flash, the best Flash. And then Psycho Pirate's in, a psychiatric hospital. Without his mask.
You think Mike's trying to replace us on the outside?
Probably.
Do you think he's got other hosts now? Because honestly, I feel like anyone else could do this show better than us.
Yeah.
We're not really great at our jobs. This really changed the whole DC universe as a whole.
Yeah.
There's a new Flash, new Wildcat, Guy Gardner comes back, Don Hall, aka Dove, dies.
But
there's only one universe now.
But I just want to comment that the new Wildcat just kind of comes out swinging, and she's pretty awesome. But she doesn't. I mean, a lot of these things felt like these are going to be the next big thing in DC.
Never happened
other
before.
than the Flash, we don't really see a lot of these people, especially Yolanda, also known as, for you guys, that's the new Wildcat.
So now there's only one universe, which has a joined and altered history. It makes the universe much tighter narratively and cuts the excess while keeping the best parts of it. The book itself is a lot of fun. It's just it's chaotic and there's so much going on that it's kind of hard to cover in one sitting. So it's something you should read. I really do think it's something you should read. Honestly, you don't need a ton of background information. Like all these characters, the ones that matter are the ones that you know. So Supermans and Batmans and all those types of characters. And then the three interdimensional beings are introduced so you understand them in the story. It's a lot.
Yeah. If you want to know what's going on with the Monitor and Anti-Monitor right now, you know, what's going on with Scott Snyder's Justice League.
I didn't know they were in there.
Yeah. Because their brother is the World Forger.
Oh, all right. So, Jake, what was your favorite part of this story?
While becoming the Flash.
Mine was the Uncle Sam giving the speech because he says, well, you can call me corny, but he's like rallying the troops, which is awesome because Uncle Sam is awesome. Well, Jake, that was one explosive story. I said that was explosive. Explosive.
You expecting something? Dan, did you have something to do with this?
Jake, I wasn't going to let us rot away in Gotham City. We're blowing this popsicle stand.
Realize this makes us legitimate villains right now. Actually, just you. My hands are clean.
Gotta crack a few eggs or some shit. Whatever, I'm new to this supervillain thing. Let's go.
You two won't escape. I let you get off easy last time, but now it's time for a bat beatdown.
Jake, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Hopefully they have teeth after this one.
Freeze, Batman. These two cool dudes are under my protection.
Wait, really? After everything we have done and mocked you?
Giving me a chance to play in your band. It has warmed my cold, cold heart. Run free, my friends, and always remember to stay frosty.
Well, what do we do now?
Not much we can do except run before the full Justice League gets here. Not trying to get my neck snapped by Wonder Woman.
We're gonna have to go on the run. Leave everything we know and love behind. We're gonna have to go our separate ways.
Wait, Dan, how do you even pull off blowing up the gates to Arkham?
I sort of had to cut a deal.
With who?
A team of superpowered individuals and great thinkers.
Dan, the Justice League wouldn't recruit you. Not even the Justice League International will put up with you. Oh no. You're not talking about good guys.
I had to join the Legion of Doom. I did it to save us, though. I did it to free us and give us a second chance.
As supervillains? No, I'm not doing this. Good luck out there with those villains. From now on, I'm a team of one. You've lost it. The Supersons are no more.